Hello. I'm just gonna take you through the cycle flow topic 4, which we did I think is first term, but it also continues for second term. Yeah, it's just a revision for second term. So in your cycle test, you'll find this topic. So it first start by asking you a question which says what is an economy? You know what I mean? So if you can just read just the definition of the economy. An economy is a term used to describe an environment in which customers and producers are involved in activities as they go about making and consuming goods and services and accumulating wealth. So we find that in the economy there's two people, there's customers and producers. You know, so that's where our cycle flow starts. As definition states, is customers and consumers. As you will find that there's three participants in the cycle flow. There's actually four, but in grade 9 you only focus on three of them. So here the sentence states that there are four participants in the economy, but we will study only three of them, which is the household, the businesses, and the government. And the definition of the economy state that there's customers and there's producers. And in this case, you will see that the customers, we call them households, and the producers, we call them businesses. So that's how our flow is going to begin. We're going to begin by focusing on the households, which is our customers. As the sentence states, under the households, that households are owners of the factors of production. So if you can understand that point, that households are factors of production, meaning households have labor inside of them and have natural resources inside of them. I mean, only consumers can work in economy. You know what I mean? They can go to businesses and search for a job. And businesses needs those factors of production. That's where again the real flow begins. And the real flow states that uh, the real flow is the flow of factors of production and the flow of goods and services. So households own the factors of production, and then they take the factors of production to the factor market. And because of the businesses needs to produce goods and services, they need labor, which labor is part of the factors of production. Hence why it states that the households owns the factor of production. So the businesses will go to the factor market, or the factor market will sell the factors of production to the businesses. Then the businesses will combine, or let me just say, will convert the factors of production uh, to goods. So labor and raw material, when they mix, cause to a good, a finished product. For example, labor, a human being making a chair, and then a final product comes out, and then that final product is called a what? A good, a service. And that goods and services flow to the good market. From the good market, e.g., your Pick and Pays, your ShopRite, your customers come and buy their goods and services to satisfy their needs and want. You know what I mean? So that flow, we call that flow the real flow. Then you go to the money flow. Now the money flow is quite simple. The money flow deals with the flow of money, as you see, the flow of money for the payment of goods and services, the payment of factors of production. Okay, yeah, sorry about that. So the households will pay for their goods and services, which it makes sense. We pay for our grocery, we pay for our goods, we pay for our services, which are obtained in our good and services market. And then the and service market will also pay the businesses for the goods and market that they get in order to sell to households. And then the businesses will pay for the factors of production. Hence, why the statement says the money flow is the flow of money uh, and the payment of goods and services and the payment of factors of production. So the businesses will also pay the factor market for the factors of production. The factor market will also pay the households for the factors of production because the factors of production are owned by the households. Simple. So we have two flows. So this flow, when you combine the two flows, we didn't yet touch the government, but when you combine the two flows, that's when you get your your economic cycle. Hope they'll okay, it's not here. But when you combine these two flows, that's when you get your economic cycle. When you combine these two flows, you get your economic cycle. Now let's focus on the government. Well, the government role is quite simple. The government role just collects tax from from all participants and then distribute goods and services to all participants. For example, the government will collect taxes from households, businesses, and then they'll supply goods and services to both of them. E.g., they'll provide roads, infrastructure, and everything. So, in order for you to understand this part, it doesn't explain it here properly, but it collects taxes from the households. Then the errors. Okay, let me just pause it and then I'll show you a different diagram. There you go. As I was saying, see, this is the real flow. See, you have your real flow and your money flow. This is your money flow. You see, consumers buying goods and services. It's your money flow. It's your money flow. Then you have the real flow, which is the flow of factors of production. See, your cycle is already completing. So you only have just these flows that are left, which are government flows. And these ones are quite simple. The consumers pay the government tax, firms pay the government tax, pays the government tax, and then the government, supply goods and services to the firm. The government supply goods and services to the customers, and then the government will buy goods and the government will spend on factors of production. So the government also buys factors of production. The government also buys goods and services in order to provide for customers and firms. By which money? The money that they collected from tax. Yeah, simply that's the real flow and that's the economy. Just summarizing. So the important thing that you need to know: the role of the government, the role of the business, and the role of the households. Then you're done. Thank you.